This baby right here can fit so many cores. Today's video is sponsored by Corsair and the new Virtuoso gaming headset. Connect wirelessly for high fidelity, ultra low latency audio with an exceptional 60-foot range with hyper-fast slipstream Corsair wireless technology. Uncompromising sound quality and immersive 7.1 surround sound is achieved through a matched pair of precisely tuned 50mm high-density neodymium speaker drivers that deliver a frequency range of 20 Hz to 40,000 Hz. Premium memory foam ear pads and pillow soft headband allow the Virtuoso gaming headset to fit cool and comfortable for long gaming sessions, while the premium build quality ensure maximum durability for a long life. To see the full feature list of the Virtuoso gaming headset from Corsair, click the link in the description below. So I'm finally building my Threadripper workstation, the one that I told you I had all kinds of turmoil inside my brain, and I was having all these thoughts, and I was like, should I use it for my personal rig? Should I use it for my work rig? Should I just get two and use it for both? And I decided, yes, I'm gonna use it for my workstation. I talk about the fact that workstations need to be about ultra reliability and need to be easy to work on and this and that. And in the last video we did where we built the water-cooled system for Phil, even though we use soft tubing, a lot of people were like, if you want ultra reliability, then why the hell are you going with stupid water cooling? Well, I'm a water cooler and that's what we do. However, you can see on the table right here, there's a Dark Rock Pro TR4, specifically for TR4. So that's what we're gonna be doing. I'm building myself my first AMD system that I'm actually gonna be using full time from now on, and it's gonna be air cooled. I feel so dirty right now. I'm actually really excited about this. Phil's experience with it so far has been phenomenal. We're still working on that long-term piece about what it's been like using it every single day and ditching Intel for AMD. So I figured I would follow suit. And I told you guys when I built Nebula that I was gonna save my 3960X for a system where it actually had a chance to do something besides look pretty in a room. Let's be honest, it's still gonna look pretty in this room over here because Phil does all of the true work around here when it comes to computers and stuff. But I like computers, so I'm gonna build myself a new one. The last PC that I've been using was the Gold build, and that's got a 7960X in it right now that I just did some, just a couple of benchmarks to see how it compares to this when we build it. I'm kinda looking forward to this. It's gonna be easy to maintain. Even though Phil's system is water cooled, I think maintenance on that would not be as hard as if it were, let's say, the Gold build, because my Gold build is a rigid tube, and that's one of the reasons why I never really changed anything or upgraded it or fixed the CPU or any of that, because it sucks working with rigid stuff on things that you have to maintain and drain and all that sort of stuff. But Asus had also reached out to me and said they had a special edition RTX 2080 Ti Strix card that was white, and did I have any use for it? And they, could they sponsor it? And I said, you know what, that's perfect, because I'm using the H710i from NZXT, which is the white and black. I wanted to do a Stormtrooper theme. So as you can see with the black cooler, the white and black case, the white GPU, it's actually coming together really nicely. So we're also gonna be using the ROG Zenith 2 Extreme motherboard, which is the same motherboard we used in the 3970X build for Phil. He's had zero problems with it. Overclocking has been very stable. The board quality is insane. So we obviously are going to be using this again in my system just because I trust it. We're also gonna be putting in there the ROG Thor 1200 watt platinum power supply. We've had this for a while now. I just haven't had a build to really use it in where it made sense. But considering now that this is a Asus themed build, that's a perfect opportunity for it. In terms of fans, I'm using the Fractal Design Prisma fans, specifically because they're black and white. So they're RGB fans that are addressable RGB. I will be using that because I like RGB and its flexibility and giving me the option to control the colors. But anyway, I digress. Kind of all over the place here, but RAM, I haven't decided if I'm gonna use this kit yet. I kind of want to use the new Dominator Platinums or the Dom Plats from Corsair with their Capellix LEDs. But this particular RAM here from G.Skill, the Trident Z Neo, is specifically tuned for Ryzen, at least that's what they say. Now in terms of storage, we're gonna be stepping it up a little bit. Because this is a Gen 4 PCIe motherboard, we are gonna be using one of the Corsair MP600 1TB NVMe drives. We're also gonna be throwing in a 1TB OCZ NVMe drive. This is gonna be like for my games and stuff, because I do play a lot of World of Warships at work. But I digress. We'll be using one of the OCZ drives for that from Toshiba. We've used these in the past. They have not been a problem for us ever since they kind of redesigned them. And then I'm going from a 4TB Seagate Barracuda to a 4TB Western Digital Black, a much faster drive, one that I've used. So we're gonna be stepping that up a bit. So let's do this. Let's go ahead, start building it, and see if it, let's see if it works. Haha. I was like, it's not going down. There we go. Okay, Dark Rock Pro TR4. We have another one now. So there's like a, you see there's more hollowed out side versus that side. So the more hollowed out side is gonna go over the little screw socket, the little screw hole. So what we're doing is we're screwing this down to the motherboard, which gives the cooler bracket something to screw down to. So I'm gonna put the RAM in first, make sure it clears the cooler. I don't have any low profile RAM, so. Ooh, it's close. I ain't getting that out though. People always go, that's so much thermal paste. You understand, it's not causing a problem if it's too much. It's a bigger problem if there's not enough. This is a big CPU with a lot of freaking cores in it. Oh! Phil, just stick out your one hand. You ready? No. Put your hand on the bottom.
Okay. Whoa! Dude, look at my forearm. It's actually flexing.
It was twitching is what it was doing. Oh, that's...
I didn't want to drop it on its face.
Dude, that is so heavy. So this case already comes with 3 front fans installed, which we're not going to be using because like I said, we're using my Fractal Design fans. So I know Steve did a video about this case and he was like, well, the brute force airflow method works, I guess. Yeah, big surprise, more fans, more air works. But since I'm not putting a radiator or anything in the front of this, I'm not too worried about the airflow, to be honest. There's gonna be plenty of air. There we go. It's just, when it's new, the clips are really tight, right? It's just still kind of funny too that a black hole is emitting light, right?
Bro, it's not the hole that's emitting light. It's all the volume of it that's going.
Ow, I bit my tongue. So that clearly, look at that. Once that goes in there, it's just like, chwing. You can see it definitely fulfills the aesthetic that I was going for. Other than that, it's the same as this regular Strix, if I'm not mistaken. We couldn't get this mount in there because, like I said, this is an EATX motherboard that covers up all the cables, and there's only very minor adjustment as to how far you can push it over. And so, yeah, I'm not able to use that, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and get this guy in there. So we decided we're gonna make this fit anyway. Did it. Because I ground off these tabs up top, means it'll fit flush now, basically wherever I wanna put it. See? So I'm just gonna two-sided tape it in there. We decided this needs to be in there because this is what makes an NZXT chassis look like an NZXT chassis. Plus it neatens things up a little bit. I think if NZXT is watching this, they really should include mounting locations that are closer to the front. Yay! Gorilla tape is strong, like a gorilla. All right, so the back, as you can see, is not really all that pretty, but everything's connected. So let's see if it boots, all fans work, if the RGB works. Like I said, I should hook up a monitor. Be right back. Oh, yeah! Something's hitting that fan. Ah! Oh, I know what it is. This is why water cooling is legitimately better. I could change out an entire CPU block faster than it is to service this air-cooled system. All right, so I just realized obviously that I can't run a fan back here. Like it's not intended to have one, which I think is kind of sucky because they give you extra clips and I think it should be like that. CPU, VGA, there we go. Yay! All right, we'll let Phil have fun with a little montage of this, I guess. That part of my boot got hooked on the stool. My foot was like, there were puddles outside. There was water on the ground. I had to wear my ultimate traction shoes. So obviously I've got to do an overclock. That's how I am. And the cool thing is, because like I said, my 7960X was just being super unstable, was running at 4.2 gigahertz, which is not great for an Intel CPU at all. This is literally apples to apples, because we know 4.2 is pretty much where the Zen architecture kind of craps out in terms of needing exotic cooling and all kinds of other craziness. Now, there's one thing I want to point out here. This is a Ryzen-based OS that we've used on a different system. So it's, as you can see, it's not completely clean. I will be doing a full wipe when I move it into my office as my workstation, but this way I can be up and running. And it's kind of a realistic test where it's got some other stuff installed here versus a system that's been up and running forever. So it's not like, how much of that's just because it's a clean Windows install? So it's just sort of an apples to apples test. We're keeping an eye on all of our cores. As you can see, we got 24 of them. Temperatures, we'll be just keeping an eye on it right here on the motherboard. So my 7960X score was a 4125. And I do suspect that that is about to just get completely destroyed. So let's see what we got here. 40, 42, 43, 45. Oh my God, 6041. I forgot to even see what the speeds were. Hold on, let me do that again. It went too fast. Oh yeah, all core, 42, yeah, 4200. God, the temps, look at that, 45, 47. 51. All right, so Cinebench R20, again, these are free downloads, so you guys can compare yourself. I had a 9680 on my 7960X. And if I go ahead and see how many, look at all the little squares. Oh, that's single core. There they are. Okay, yeah, 9680 is what it was. Jeez, that's so fast. That's 50C. Stop it. They're gonna all be like, see, water cooling's dumb. It's dumb.
I mean, to be fair, it's a Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro. Like,
yeah.
There's a lot of things that are way worse than
It's so cool. 14,197. So the score is not really that much different in the overall score, and that's because we're running basically the same GPU. 2080 Ti Strix versus a 2080 Ti reference card. But if we look at this right here, our CPU score, well, our main score was a 7713 versus a 7578. Getting 200 points, or I should say 150 points or so, in this test is extremely difficult for Extreme. But our CPU score went from a 9838 to a 12,687. Funny enough, we're about 65 points less graphics score with the Strix right now with its out-of-the-box settings versus my overclocked 2080 Ti. So that's part of the reason why the score is not that much different. But a 7283 versus a 7214. But this wasn't about the overall score, it was about the GPU for sure, or CPU for sure. So yeah, I'll tell you right now, I'm impressed. As someone who's not like used air cooling for the most part in a long time, water cooling for me is just, it's fun. I like water cooling. But I can tell you right now, I have no problems recommending this Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro 4 for, or TR4 I should say, for this particular CPU and its core density. I bet you it would handle Phil's CPU just fine as well with 32 cores and 50, 40, a lot of threads. I was kind of having a bit of a dilemma, like trying to hypothetically figure out which could I service faster? A CPU block with soft tubing that I can bend out of the way in 4 bolts or 4 screws, or wing nuts basically, thumb screws, to get to the CPU, or this? Well, initially I was gonna say I could get to my CPU way faster. And I think we should do a video, or my CPU on water block way faster than this air cooler. But I think I need to somehow test that theory and have a race or something. Either time myself doing both, or time myself versus someone else that's just as either competent or incompetent of a computer builder, depending on how you want to look at it. But I started to kind of second guess that theory because I looked at it this way and I went, well, you know, I can just unplug the fans right there and there's cap, screw, and it's off. But I can tell you right now, this system is extremely easy to service, and I think I'm even going to leave it on RGB Spectrum for now. I know that makes some of you really mad. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This is my new workstation. Proud to say I'm running AMD once again, and it's air cooled at that. So take that for whatever you want, I guess. Also, too, a huge thank you to ASUS for sponsoring today's video by sending us over these parts to use in our build, as well as this extremely limited edition white Strix 2080 Ti, which Definitely goes well with the Stormtrooper build, and I'm glad that we taped this guy back in there. Although we found that when I put the top on, it pushed that down, so it undid my tape because of the little tab. I'm just gonna leave it there. It's a static piece now anyway. So, all right guys, thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.